is so cool. I love doing that. All right. Got the Fortune Teller Oracle deck. We're going to clear it. We're going to use a couple energies here. My favorite, White Moonstone. Okay. Let's give it a shuffle. See. Do you have a question? Are you wondering something? Do you have a situation? I have a question too. What's your question? So we have a question of the meaning of life. So we have, just so you can look at the card and see if anything pops out to you. He says the meaning of life, and then we've got the all-seeing eye triangle. A new opportunity will lead you to greatness. Interesting. So, a new opportunity. That means there's going to be a transition phase where your routine will change. And possibly the new opportunity is either new or it's just a new and an additional and another opportunity. So I'm not sure if you're going to be dealing with new or just having a second coming of things. And it says this opportunity will, if you let it, lead you to greatness. So is that defining greatness by the universe or by you? Or by somebody else? I guess that's where our will takes a role. Now I know this deck has got the eye in the triangle. But so far we've got the eye and the triangle on all of them. So, okay, I feel called to say this. In my mind, it's expanding to think and ask the higher powers can be so many things. Like in the Bible, it talks about princes and principalities, the whole pyramid scheme, and the powers that be, and then like the universe and the galactic, I guess like all the levels of systems, structured consciousnesses. Which ones are, what I'm trying to say is, are some of them benefiting you? Are you following them, and is that benefiting you? Are they manifesting good things for you? Why? Do you ask why, or is it just, it is? These are things I'm wondering. So the card says your magical abilities are growing. Use them wisely. And I went straight to the book. So it says your magical abilities. For me, I'm just going to roll with this. For me, I'm a woman. Today I watched that our V area is very magical. Everything about it is like magical. So Like if you were to think of like the systems and things, but then you get down to that area and it's like, wait, make that make sense. It's like, nope, it's a magical area. It's the Bermuda Triangle. We don't really know what happens there. Systems aren't can't collect data there. Data doesn't collect properly there. All systems haywire, but so for whatever that may mean, but like magical abilities, magic is an area where it's undefined. An area, if it's undefined, does that mean it's undiscovered, not enough data collected, new? So your magical abilities, so whatever you consider magic or the world considers magic, and those abilities. So like, are you speaking about a magical land, a magical body part? Like what's magical for you? And what are the abilities that has? I often am telling my son that toy only does that. It was designed to do that, not designed to do whatever your imagination comes up with at the time. Unfortunately, it doesn't do that. So you have to work within the structure of what that is, within the confines of the strength. So, but this says your magic abilities are growing. And now it's like, you know how they say like the flat earth and then the big earth. Someone recently said there's the Pangea and the ice wall and then we're on Nibiru. But like now aliens, but our world is expanding, and so it's like, so what does that mean when you add those elements? So okay, this is going all over the place, but it's probably hitting somewhere. So dang, it was important. It came. Your magic abilities are growing. Use them wisely. You know, in the movies, there we go, I got it back. You know, in the movies, when they end it with happily ever after, but they don't show what that is, a lot of us have been waiting for a long time to see what this outcome is. Okay, so you know how if you want to be a successful business person, you need to go find a successful business person to get advice from them. So we're trying to get to this next level, and we're trying to find this person that's at this next level, right? Because like that's what comes next, right? Because we're waiting for the next. What comes next? Well, we need certain inputs to be able to calculate a certain outcome of what's next. And we're getting some of that and we're trying to predict it. But it's like, who's been there and who can we ask and who can we take advice from to kind of formulate this whole prediction of what will come next? Does that make sense? It's like a chicken and the egg type of thing. But the fact that they're like giving us hints, we're on that cuspit, we are on the brink, we're there, we're on the land where we're on the scavenger hunt to find it because it's there. So it's like they're like, it's here, now find it. Before it was like, we need to find where it is before we can find it. Does that make sense? So we're getting closer. We're getting closer. And then it brings back, like, we're getting closer to the structure that we want. And to me, like, what that means to me is, like, we're getting closer to the root of how we want to live our lives. Like, our purpose. Like, okay, we're here. And if we choose our purpose, what is that purpose going to be? Because a lot of times when life says purpose, it's like, to be a teacher. A teacher of what? The whole what. You know what I mean? And that's what this card is. Pulled. This is the what card. The what, the dealing, the north, the major, the growth, the lesson. So this means that your magical abilities, so whatever sex you are here right now, or maybe you don't go by that, maybe you're beyond sex and you're in the spiritual world. You know, I was thinking about, this is figuring out what magic really is it for you, to you, and what those abilities are, and and then what it looks like when they grow, like a Pokemon when they evolve. It's like the Pokemon goes from this to this, and you're like, what? How'd it go from that to that? Like when you breed snakes and it comes out with the genes, the different genes. Like maybe they are hoping for new genetic pools, like just naturally our genes evolve and our appearances and things. And when you put that all together, maybe we're waiting for all the sides to come together so we could see what it's gonna look like. You know what I mean? Maybe I don't know. And then use them wisely. Obviously, we are gifted and protected to survive and to do good things with what we have. Like surviving is a good thing. Helping others survive is a good thing. Helping others feel joy in the survival is a good thing. That's how we use these things wisely. And that encompasses like making art, growing fruit, providing clothes, giving water, carrying somebody, fixing someone who's hurt. Those are like the bare minimum simple things. If you're like way more high techier, then that can get into. I'm not really up there, so I don't know, but interesting. So a new opportunity will lead you to greatness. 12:02 on the clock. And your magical abilities are growing. Use them. So maybe the opportunity to see that where miracles and magic and wanting and bringing your goals and focus into a tangible action that creates an outcome is the ability you're going to see. Like you have the magic to do that. Like that is actually something you do, not necessarily God or society or these people, right? Like it's actually you. And if it's not you, then it is them. But the magic is you can be like, hey, I'm going to drive today. And every day after that, like, that's when you learn. Maybe that's the magic. Maybe somebody needs to learn that, or you need to teach somebody that, or someone's going to teach you that. So then I have the stars whisper. The stars whisper your destiny. Follow their ancient light. So for this card is going to be like the why. Is this happening? The sword, the truth, the why, the reflection, the inner reasoning, the knowing, the west. Okay? It says, the stars whisper your destiny, follow their ancient light. I might have just answered my own question. I really did this reading for me. But one person's aid can help a lot, so I wanted to record this. So I actually filled up a balloon with water and put it in the freezer, and it froze, and it looks just like that. That's exactly what my ice ball looked like, and it was that big too. It was a big old ice ball, and it looked identical. And I was thinking, wow, this lady's holding this ice ball. Yeah, I make ice balls. And I went outside with my kid. And, well, for one, he got to fill up a water balloon. And then we put it in the freezer. And then it expanded and popped the freezer open and left the freezer open. And then the whole freezer froze over. And that was an experience to learn to give things room to grow. When you get me talking. the magic just keeps coming out. So I didn't realize that this thing needed that much room to grow. Like when you plant a watermelon, they need a lot of space versus some things don't. Like I didn't know. But I got over the fact that the freezer did not break. And yes, maybe it used extra energy and it did freeze things over and everything ended up being fine. And my attitude was, this was an accident. Nobody got hurt. Nothing's too bad. We're good. Everything can be fixed either way. It was cool. Go with the flow. When you're trying new things, have an attitude that doesn't ruin it for everybody when it goes wrong, so that way you encourage, keep wanting to do it. And that's growth. To not be a party pooper when you're learning new things. And also, the other part that I thought first was, yeah, I made that because that was simple, free, easy. We took it outside. We played hockey on the pavement with the ice thing. I learned don't kick an ice ball because I almost broke my bone on my foot, and I have a walking job still. And I was like, okay, be careful. I was getting, when you haven't done something, but you're like, the kid comes back in you and you like go for it, and then you're like, then you get hurt and you're like, oh, well, that was dumb. That happens sometimes when people drink and they think they could do things that really, in reality, sober-minded person would be like, yeah, that wasn't too smart, jumping off something that high. Or kicking an ice ball with my foot. I just didn't think. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just didn't think. To put your foot on it and then move it. You do that in like bocce ball or something versus like hitting it and then it going, like coming to it, then moving it. So there's no like, I don't know, maybe that means something to you too. And so me, like, why am I discovering magic? Like, so why do I have new opportunities? Because I asked for them. Why is my magic abilities growing? Because I see the beauty in it, and I see that it's not magic, it's just me, and it's growing me, and we are all magic, like just the fact of, and it's happening because I'm like, how could I have fun if, like, I was the last person on earth and we didn't have people pumping oil and doing all these things I needed to do to have, like, a roof over my head and electricity and lights and water and stuff. Like in my mind, if I could be happy there, then I could be happy anywhere. So in my mind, that's my foundation. How can I be happy with absolutely nothing? So then I could be happy with everything. And as you collect things, you lose sight of that. So there's the whole, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about how I gained the sight of the ancient ways by just thinking back of how simple it used to be. I mean, maybe, they're trying to say that like some of these civilizations were already there and then something happened and then they just implanted a bunch of people. But regardless of any of that, the stars whisper, like, when you're not stressed. For me, I like freedom. So if I'm free, I'm less stressed. And in my freedom, what do I do in that time? I do stuff. Like, society has programmed me, I feel maybe it was society, to do stuff, to go out and ride a bike. So I've actually been getting my exercise by riding a bike. My kid just learned how to ride a bike. We make these ice balls and we go run around, and I feel excited to go run around and go break the ice and kick all the pieces around. That's exciting. I have little bursts of energy that I can do those things. I'm more of like a burst of energy, and then I sit, and then I burst and I sit, and I burst and I sit. Like a sprinter, not like a long distance runner. So I know my magic comes in little bursts of energy. So if I can create something that I can handle, and anyways, so just really getting to know yourself. Um, and then I seen this one lady running on the treadmill, and then she's like, I can run in a fancy dress. You know, you don't have to. If you want to work out and you're like, you know what, the only way I'm going to work out is if I wear workout stuff all day long so I can seize the opportunity when it comes. Yeah, that's cool. And then you're like, well, I don't ever wear dresses anymore. So do your thing, do whatever you are, wherever you're at. But some people find, oh, I can wear a pretty dress even when I do that. Or I've honed myself in enough to where I can now move from seizing an opportunity to I am the opportunity, and I have it set in my schedule. So now I can dress pretty, and I can even do it now in a new dress, which is a new opportunity. You know, a new opportunity could be like, oh, I learned how to dress nicer during my daily routines. For me, I dress down because I don't want to ruin nice clothes because I can't afford that. But I have found that society has made nice clothes cheaper and more durable and comfier. And if you just learn and watch and see, you can maybe eventually find a nice, cute style or upgrade it to be fancier to still suit your needs. Like they make fancy tennis dresses. You know, society catches up with our thinkings and where we want to go with where society has evolved to, and that's cool. Um, that's kind of like, you know, we all kind of keep up with each other, and I don't know, the contrast of like this one's filled in and this one's hollowed out. It's like sometimes we're working on something, and sometimes we're putting things out for you, and then sometimes we're observing to see what's next to put out. So like why this is happening, you know? Well, the stars whisper your destiny. Follow their ancient light. Well, with inflation, people are either going to hone down and be a hardworking machine and produce what they need to survive in the inflating society, or people are going to resort back to how to be more frugal and live happy with less. Those are options, and I'm sure maybe more options and more new opportunities are coming with all these beautiful brain ideas, thinking of fun ways to be happy in life and how to do that, and how to do that in society where we actually do need to have a little bit of income no matter kind of what we're doing, I guess, unless we live somewhere far away, which that's a new norm too. So new opportunities are being brought to us that we didn't have before, that may have always been there but maybe not been accessible. So people are paving new roads for us. So the stars are whispering your destiny, follow their ancient light. All right, we got 3 more cards. It says, so in my mind when I was doing this reading, I've got 6 cards that I'm going to pull, right? The who, what, and why. I'm going to do that for like your present. So now for your future is going to be the how, where, and when, okay? And that's kind of like how my intention was. And so for the how, like how are they acting? Wands, action to take. East, action, beginning, movement, do. So I'm noticing, because I'm also reading the cards too, I'm noticing these ones, like you notice, these ones kind of match, and they're kind of busy. It was like the who, the there's lots of things to this, and then it was like honing in a little bit on the what, and then the why, because you, this is about you, this is your life, what are you doing with your hands, you know what I mean, where's your focus? That kind of just brought something up, like she's holding it but she's not looking at it, but does she need to? I don't know. Is she a juggler? I don't know. We've already moved on from that. So we're gonna go into the how. So this is looking like the how. It's looking like the who, you know what I mean? Like the card. It's got the same things. And instead of like a confined structure that's full, it looked like they repotted you into a beautiful vase. Or you repotted yourself. It looks like there's been a new repotting, new environment, new outcome. Because sometimes a succulent can be a succulent and never grow a flower. Sometimes they don't want it to grow a flower, right? But anyways, for whatever that means, this has a vase and a flower now instead of like the triangle and the moon. So this looks like it's like really embracing the beauty that you have transformed into and embracing the cycles. Because you know after this, you are going to dry up and go into like a, you're going to dry up and you're going to turn into seeds and you're going to have to go dormant and go underground and accept the conditions of what's going on right now as you, until you can, you know, grow back into a flower and face the sun again. I don't know, for whatever that means. But like this next phase, you know, and this is not to say, and this is not to reassure and reconfirm that after the best parts, there's the down. Once you're all the way up, you have to come down. No, that's not what that's saying. That's what an untrained, unhappy, unhealthy, no, that's what a mind that's been programmed to think that is going to think. You don't have to think that, and that is actually not a happy, healthy thought. So don't think that anymore. This is what we're all trying to teach everybody. I mean, generally, we weren't really supposed to be planted. There's a vase there, too. Look. So maybe, like, this is confirming the conscious mind and the spark of life. When they meet, you wait. And then there was, like, the 2 transition steps and then the flower. I don't know. That is interesting. So let's get to it. A hidden power within you is awakening. Embrace it. I once had a Venus flytrap and it grew a flower. I didn't know that it grew flowers. It says that it grows flowers when it's super happy, but it says that it also takes a lot of energy from it and it shortens its lifespan. So it's like, that's weird. Okay, so I'm thinking, where's that going? Okay, because I said like a bunch of things in my head that I didn't say out loud. And now I forgot it. A hidden power within you is awakening. Embrace it. Because if we want to elongate our lifespan, we have to be somewhat on a level of understanding that the things we do shouldn't kill us. Like the girl who wanted to drive her truck 600, 400 miles an hour on the Salt Lakes, right? Chances of her gonna die was an odds that were in the equation. So her choices were to live and accept that, right? Some people live that way, and some people live because they want to elongate their life. And then some people want to live forever. And then some people are like, you do live forever, just not in this body. So there is a lot of meddling and mixing of things and wishings, and this person wants that person wants that person wants that, right? And then look, multiple flowers did come out. All outcomes can exist in one thing, you know. So this is the how they're acting. A hidden power within you is awakening. Embrace it. So This means you are feeling extremely excited, which could mean people around you could either be upsetting you because they're not as excited or they're killing your excitement. So your excitement could be being put out, like your candle could be being put out. There's multiple candles here. Maybe somebody could be snuffing your candle out. Somebody could be blowing your candle and it's burning too fast. There's so many different things that could be occurring right now due to this hidden power that's awakening in you, depending on how you're embracing it and how others are embracing it. Oh wow! For an example, my dad and son got me these flowers for Mother's Day, and my grandma was telling me that she is the best at getting flowers, cut flowers to live long, because she says she refreshes the water all the time, and maybe she puts something in the water and she trims the bottom of them constantly, and so they stay alive and fresh for so long. And she was very proud of herself. Maybe that was her hidden power, because she has been very praised for making the best cheesecake ever. Going down in history for the best cheesecake ever. And her herself, she's like, and I can keep flowers alive for a long time too, you know? That interests her. And that's why she was good at it. And she got probably good positive outcome, because who wouldn't? What she focused on would always bring in like a positive thing, so to speak, right? So it was a safe, good thing to focus on. Like, probably that would be a hidden power of her being able to say, I'm going to focus on this because who's not going to like this? And I love this. And, and that's kind of where the power and the life comes from. And then I was like, well, where's the life gonna go after this? So anyways, but you can also preserve flowers by hanging. So if you're gonna let them dry out, you want to maybe hang them upside down, so that way the stems and the flowers are straight, instead of like if it's up, they'll come down. And then also, like, you can hairspray them, and then they'll last like forever. Even I think they'll keep the color, and so like, how are you gonna keep it longevity? Again, that's the same thing, like the same thing I was just saying about, do you want to, some people just put them in the vase and when they're done they throw them out. It's yours for the choosing. Do you want to do that? Do you want to put the time in to refresh the water and cut them? Me, for some reason, I didn't want to refresh the water, so they started going down, and so then I just said, you know what, I'm just gonna hang them. And that's because of the lifestyle and the mentality that I have, is why I chose to just not do that and just take them. Like, am I happy with how I choose? Because if not, then I want to look at my life and why and how, because this is like, how are they acting? A hidden power within you is awakening. Embrace it. For me, I'm really good at like, okay, this is happening. Why? Let's evaluate it. Is this good for me? Is this happy? Am I happy with this? Can I continue finding happiness to continue being able to maintain this, right? Because for me, I'm trying to find stability, longevity, and like a stable routine for a Gemini. I don't know, just because society makes me think I should be constantly doing something, or I think I should be, or I don't know, we're still figuring that out. Or the moon, we don't know. We don't know. Whatever I just said, I'm working on it. That's why it's in my mind floating around like don't forget to mention me, I'm in here too. So, okay, we're going to move on to number 5, the 5th card, okay? So this is the where. Emotionally, is this affecting? And this is like the cups. Emotional, past influence, south, emotional, past, comfort zone, feel. Okay, so this is, and usually when I see a shelf, I'm like, usually when I see something like this where it's a container of some sorts with levelness, and it's containing things, and they're organized and placed there intricately. I normally am like, you have your ducks in a row. You have an organized headspace, and you know what's what. That's usually what I think when I see that. So it says, your dreams hold the key to your future. Pay attention. Yeah. So, like, for me, let's get a little personal here. It's like, what is in your space and what are your dreams? Right? So, I'm not, okay. And I don't have to show. And then, so with that, what I've been thinking with that is like, you ever notice how you put things places and then you never go back and play with them or touch them or use them? And you're like, why do I have that? Why was I excited about that? And it's like, all of that sometimes comes into play later in life, or it's just having it as like a support thing, an attachment thing, or you think it looks good, or for whatever reason, or you have it now and now you have it and maybe you'll get to it or something. But your dreams hold the key to your future. Pay attention. So I have been, they say feng shui. If there's a said way to set up a space and you're setting it up differently, do you evaluate and compare why? And maybe get to the root cause of that? Do you ask yourself, why am I not touching that? I put it there exactly so I could grab it so it could be easy, and I'm still not doing it. You put that there on purpose to make it easier because you weren't doing it before. So now that it's there and you're not doing it, and are you just continuously being hard on yourself for not doing it instead of just making the time and doing it, and then finding out how to enjoy it? So that's a hard thing to do. What I just said right there sounded easy, but it's not. So these are the things that a lot of times it's just basically like really saying, okay, I'm turning things off and just getting your hands dirty and being like, okay, this does feel good. I do like this energy. How do I keep getting myself back into this energy? And how do I get out of not getting into this energy? Like some people, when they have hard times getting into a shower, like example like that, like, or, certain things like getting to the gym. Some people have a hard time doing that, but they feel so good when they do it. But so it's finding how to keep coming back and making that work, and why you keep leaving it. So it looks like you hold all your dreams, but it looks like they're just sitting there waiting to be used. So maybe you're figuring out how to use them. Maybe the universe is conspiring to figure out how to use them. Maybe this is just divine timing. Maybe it's waiting for you. Maybe all of this is just waiting for you. This is the why is this happening? Why are these things sitting on the shelf? Because you're not looking at them. Because maybe you decided all of these things that I thought I wanted to do hold a little bit too much weight for me to do at certain periods of times, and I find myself that maybe those periods of times are a lot, and so I really am just storing this like a storage, and I'm finding myself doing easier, more aloof things, more temporary bursts of things versus longevity things. Maybe this is I don't know. Maybe you're like, I'm just not going to worry about this right now because it's perfectly fine sitting there waiting for me. Like, none of this is going to go bad or old. It'll be perfectly fine when I come back, waiting for me, and I have all the room in the world to keep it there, so it's fine. But right now, maybe I'm going to focus on this. And maybe it's saying that's okay. Because this is the emotionally affecting. So I swapped it. It says the stars whisper your destiny, follow their ancient light. So it's like, where you want to be and where you can go and what you want to do. Don't be attached to the things you've thought you set up and the systems and the structures. Just do what you're doing in the moment. In the end, it's okay to do that. And maybe that's the message you needed to hear. Because what I'm trying to say is like, your dreams hold the key to your future. Pay attention. Your dreams hold. So it's like, for me, I'm a Gemini. I like to float around and do whatever I want. So like, carrying this around everywhere would be an extreme burden once I realized, wow. Once I realized, like, if I were to, like, walk on the beach just by myself in, like, a flowy dress versus, like, walking, like, holding all of this and as in a cart, dragging it on the beach, like, whew, like, I'm just gonna put this down for a minute. It's supposed to be in the house safe. It's fine. It's fine. Maybe something in your mind is telling you else otherwise, and that's what maybe, and so that's emotionally affecting you. Or maybe you're just getting really mad at looking at this stuff and you just want to put your hands on it because you notice you're looking at it, but there's no hands. So maybe you just really, maybe like emotionally it's affecting you because you really just want to do these things. So what's the next is when this leads to, this is the pentacles, the south knows the past patterns, what you're used to releasing. So what you need to do to get focused, get your hands in these shelves, get the stuff off the shelves and start using them, you know. You've expanded. It looks like you invested in it. If you look at that, that's like TK, preschool, little. Okay. What are you gonna do with that? I have time. I'm gonna peel it and put it in my mortar, and that's all I can do. And I've done that like 10 times. Look at like the thyme or the rosemary. And you've done that. Okay. You're like, I'm bored of doing just one thing. So you're like, I'm going to invest and get very excited. I'm going to have my magical abilities grow. So you decided to invest in yourself, invest in your dreams, and you decided, and you know what that looked like? That looked like expansion, that looked like growth, that looked like you needed a little bit more room. Remember I was saying I was doing an experiment with the ice thing and needed more room? Yes, and I didn't get mad at it. I actually made more room and made sure next time we had more room. So I actually, it was just perfect. It says, a veil of mystery surrounds you, embrace the enchantment. So yeah, you're off doing your own thing. You're not worried about what anybody else is thinking, and everyone's like, "Where'd she go?" Because you're out having fun, you know. And the whole time at the bottom of the deck, a powerful transformation is underway. Trust the process. And this is like, you got the whole world in your hands. You got the whole world in your hands. You got the whole wide world in your hands. So that's kind of what I got with that. It looks like it's okay to trust yourself. It's okay to trust and follow your dreams. It's okay to invest in your dreams. It's okay to know the difference between who supports you and doesn't, and know how to distance. It's okay to do all of that, and it's okay to be enjoying yourself where you are, even if people maybe around you are way behind. Like in your mind, your definition would be like, yeah, they're behind. And don't give all of what you've been blessed with. They always say, as you go through your tests and trials and tribulations, you will be given more when you handle more in a way that more can be produced. God blesses those who produce good fruit. If God gives you a blessing, if you give yourself a blessing, so let's just take out God and just use this analogy that he gave us and that was given to us through him and through other people. If you have something and it prospers and it makes more continuous prosperity and maybe even gives prosperity to others and others, right? The whole pyramid scheme, you know, one idea can prosper. Maybe you add more and then they prosper and they prosper. Yes. So what I'm saying is, if you have, it says, a new opportunity will lead you to greatness. If you have an opportunity, And this opportunity was given to you, not them. Because this person got that. This person got that, right? Whatever, right? Did that person give you some of what they had? Let's say no. Did that? No. So when they come around asking for what you had, be good at knowing the difference as no, this is mine. I don't need to share this. Because some people are like, oh, you should share. I shared. Did you share this or did you share this? You don't ever know. So just don't let people suck you dry of your magic, your gifts. Don't let them deplete you so that way you don't grow, because you were given a gift to grow. And if you overgive, you won't grow. If you give up all your sunlight for somebody else, they're gonna grow and you're not. So God gave you the adequate amount for you, and what you did with it, He gave you more with, because you were capable. There's that whole lesson there. And I'm feeling and picking up on, it's up to you to see those things, and it's up to you to follow your dreams and find a way to invest into your dreams, and to know, there's lots of ways. This person who's me and whoever else who's gone through this have gone through many, many lessons, and we know that at this stage we are at delicate balances, that at any point we have to, and it's not stressful. It's just as we walk through life and we hold what is ours, what we made, what we thought of, what we did to bring us happiness, to bring us joy. And maybe not even that, but I'm just gonna say that, like, she's in her own space where she doesn't have to deal with maybe other things taking or asking, because somebody asking for something and you having to say no, that takes some an energy exchange. And depending on who you are as a person, if you're a people pleaser and you have to tell this person no, they're technically sucking your energy, making you feel some type of way, making you have to stabilize something that just boom triggered you. Like, you just had an impact. Like them coming and asking for your gift is like someone doing that, not like, it was my first day in prison when a 300-pound inmate took one look at me and started sobbing. And I was using that example earlier. That's why I was using it. But so to be at these levels, there was lots of levels learned and remembered and used and reused and applied. And yeah. So for those who want to seek this level, it, come find me. I can help you. Um, Others are doing it. Look around you. There's many, many, many people around. But this is definitely a beautiful journey of accepting cycles. And I can keep going, so I'm going to stop. And on that note,